Hello, I'm Paul, and this is my presentation on the dissemination of information in today's society and its impact. For those of you who don't know, the dissemination of information is the widespread circulation of information and how we get it as a people. We can all remember gathering on the TV to catch the news, sports, and weather all at one convenient place. If we wanted to get information for a book report, we would go to the library and physically go through the stacks to get our information that we needed. Um, or we could look through the newspaper section by section to see what yesterday's news was and get what we could out of that. And although all three of these mediums still exist today, they are losing their relevance quite steadily because of what the internet has to offer. The internet has become such a cornerstone of our society, and it offers multitudes of information that was once harder to acquire. Um, and I'd like to talk about the societal impact that uh, the electronic age and the internet being our primary internet or information source has had on society. And I've split the impacts into advantages and disadvantages. And under each of the categories are three major points I'd like to talk about. And I want to start with the disadvantages. Disadvantage number one, the reliability of the information. Because the internet is such an expansive entity, it's impossible to monitor, regulate, and control all the information that goes into it. And it should not be regulated, but it is important that we recognize what a reputable source is and what to look for to see sites that should be suspect of being non-trustworthy. Disadvantage number two is the loss of tangibility. As a person who, when reading a book, enjoys actually physically turning the pages, being able to fold the pages, and writing notes in the margins, that is lost. That now that we're moving towards electronic books, where it's more of a point and touch interface as opposed to the physical um, relationship between the reader and the material. Um, Disadvantage number three, and the biggest one, is the death of the print industry. Uh, Seeing as how we're moving towards electronic information, the need for printed information and materials has steadily declined. And because of that, many jobs have been lost, and companies that were thriving 5 to 10 years ago are now defunct and dying. And that is a really sad casualty of um, the internet being the primary source of information. Now I move to the advantages. Advantage number one, the diverse selection that the internet offers. You can find anything on the internet, and that might be a good thing, might be a bad thing, but anything broad to very narrow, you can find absolutely anything from stamp collecting to your uh, favorite celebrities, soft drink of choice. It's all able to be found on the internet, as opposed to going to a library and hoping you can find what it is you're looking for, because publishers can only publish something if there's an audience for it, because there's a lot more that goes into creating a medium that is a book or a magazine than just the information itself. Advantage number two is environmentally more friendly, because um, when these printed materials get older, they decay and they get thrown into to the waste, and that's something we struggle with as a society is our waste problem. And because that you can fit thousands and thousands of printed materials on an electronic device, you eliminate, well, not really eliminate, but really cut down on that problem. And advantage number three, and the most important one, is the accessibility of it and what that means. For all people of all ages, from young to old, can access the internet. And as the years go on, the internet has become uh, more user friendly, so it's easier for anybody to get on. And like I myself started using the internet in school at age 6, around kindergarten, first grade time. And as society moves towards work-oriented, busier lives and people with commitments, it's harder to sit down and watch those old news shows or read the newspaper or listen to the radio. It's more about having that convenience at your fingertips with your phones, tablets, computers. Anybody anywhere has the ability to stay caught up. And social media has also made leaps and bounds for my generation, because um, as a college student, and you're even in high school, it's easy to get caught more up and care more about the social aspect of of what's going on around you as opposed to what's the actual important, relevant stuff that is around you. And when it comes to social media, that stuff gets touched on through that medium, and it makes us aware of that, and we discuss it with each other and our peers. And it's important that we are exposed to that information. And to conclude, I believe that the internet becoming the juggernaut that it is in our extraction of information from is a good thing overall, and the advantages outweigh the disadvantages. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you.